Hey guys, this is Captain William Townsend with Staked Out Podcast. Today we're going to talk about first aid kits. I've had an incident recently on my boat. Nothing bad, but we actually were pulling a shoreline, and one of my clients needed to get out of the boat, and he got out of my boat. I advised him not to, but he said he wanted to go look at something, so he got out of the boat, and in the process he cut himself on a shell or something like that. So when he got back to the boat, I had to, we had to clean it up and stuff like that. He was a younger gentleman, and we were fly fishing, and so anyways, I proceeded and I pulled out my first aid kit. So it was this little first aid kit, fish and ski, you can get West Marine. Nothing wrong with it, but when you started opening it and pulling things out, it has sting relief pads, some non-aspirin, some gauze, some basic first aid how-tos, some basic tape, and some antiseptic ointment, gauze pads, and some band-aids. So we cleaned his cut up. He was fine, taped it up, and continued on fishing. Had a beautiful afternoon. Never had any issues. But what made me think about it is when I got back to the dock, I started thinking about, where I travel, where I fish, all these different locations and areas I fish, and I was like, is this adequate? And of course, if I had to question that, then I knew it wasn't. So I went out and made myself a new first aid pack. Now, I have this, but I also had other things on board that we used that I keep on board. And one was hydrogen peroxide spray bottle. So this is what we cleaned it with. An alcohol bottle, and sprayed that, cleaned it with. And I already had these on the boat with this pad. I had alcohol wipes so we could clean it up. And then I had some alcohol wipes also. So we used alcohol wipes, and just that's what I used to clean it up. This is what I carry on my boat all the time. Some just general wipes to keep clean, and of course paper towels. Always keep a roll of paper towels. So this was my basic setup that I had as my first aid. So when I decided to go and get some more things, I'm going to move this out of the way and open this box. Now all this is located under my port side hatch in the back of the boat where I sit. And I usually keep it in a Tupperware to keep everything organized. So let's see what else we have in here that's fun to play with. Clorox wipes. So this is bleach. Kills 99.9% of bacteria. Not sponsored by Clorox, but if there's ever a chance, here it is. Anyways, so I use these Clorox bleach wipes because in the wintertime we're waiting a lot. Summertime, sorry, we're waiting a lot. And if anybody had any cut or anything like that, or we get out of waiting, you can wipe down your feet, you can wipe down your hands, anything like that, to make sure it definitely kills anything harmful. Mosquito repellent. Definitely have in the summertime, especially if we have any spring rains or summer rains. and no wind, and the mosquitoes come out in droves. So I keep mosquito repellent. I keep it all in a Ziploc bag. That way it doesn't run or empty into my box. Another thing of sunscreen. It's a bar. I'll usually throw something like this in my wade pack when we're wading out of the sand. You can put it on. Clients can use it. Pair of binoculars. Fillet knife that never gets used, but at least it's another knife on board in case needed. Also, you have the paperwork for the boat located in here. So this is the boat registration and everything. So that way everything is located, centrally located. So here comes to my new first aid kit. So this is the new and improved first aid kit versus my old first aid kit. A lot of times we're running sometimes an hour, 2 hours. Sometimes I'm in Mansfield, South Padre, fishing tournaments and things like that. And so I started thinking about my first aid kit, and I wanted something that was really contained, really substantial. So what I ended up purchasing was an OSHA first aid kit. And then I took that out, and then I added more things to it. So what I tend to add was the band-aids and things are all waterproof. Obviously we're on the water, so it makes sense to have waterproof band-aids. Some gloves, 2 pairs of gloves, pads, gauze pads. Also have in here a mask for CPR, so that way in case something happens, I got at least a mask for that. Really good. Waterproof tape. So I did buy waterproof tape and liquid Band-Aid. I use that a lot, especially because I'm always getting cut on my hands from line, leader, fish. So I'll clean it real good, just hit it with that liquid tape and go, and maybe put on some waterproof tape. Advil, in case you need something, a headache. Tylenol. I've got iodine. I've got some antiseptic for bites, for burns, and also for cuts, little scrapes and cuts and things like that. I bought a low-dose aspirin in case somebody can't have ibuprofen or something like that. I can get something different. Eyes, get salt in your eyes, starts burning, or had a rough night, got some red eye, got something, eye drops to put in. Then in here I have all of antiseptic creams, ointments, things like that, as well as I have scissors for if we have something more abrasive. I have things to stop blood clots, and also scissors and some to create a if I have to create if somebody twisted their ankle, wraps, anything like that, I could put that on, and also a heat pad in case somebody gets, well, I guess more in the winter time, if they fall in the water, they can put that blanket on. It's a solar blanket to help keep them warm, stuff like that. So that is a little more in depth first aid kit than what I originally had, and after thinking about it, I'm really happy that I put something like this together. It didn't cost very much, $150, and you can put all this together. But it's just that extra element of added security when we're out on the water. We never know what's going to happen. If I fall off and the polling platform, the engine's raised up, there's 3 blades there, and you cut yourself, or if trim tabs, you can cut yourself on the trim tabs, things like that. Just anything can happen. You never know. So that's why I put this box together, and I wanted to show it to y'all, so that way when you come on my boat, you know exactly where everything is and where I put everything. And this again is located under my port hatch. That's where I'm always sitting when I run the boat. And it is located in this Tupperware with all these other things. So again, this is Captain William Townsend with the Staked Out Podcast. If y'all have any questions or comments, anything you think I could add to it, please leave those comments below, and I'll respond, and I'll add to this first aid kit. Be sure to hit subscribe, keep this going, and also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Captain William Townsend was Staked Out. We'll see you guys out on the flats.